Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name's Abby Dillon. I'm the president of Earth Justice. We at Earth Justice are very proud to co-chair the Climate Action Campaign. We're a coalition of 12 national environmental health, environmental justice groups, and we work all around the country with over 70 partners with the goal of driving the most ambitious climate action that we can possibly muster in this time where we know it's so urgently needed. Right now, we are laser focused on seizing the opportunity that's been created by historic federal funding, especially the $369 billion for climate action that passed almost a year ago now in the Inflation Reduction Act. This is a historic opportunity. It's a generational opportunity to remake the U.S. economy to rise to the climate crisis. And I know this climate crisis is not abstract. It is hitting so many people so hard this summer. And so we are seeing the impact of climate change. We're also seeing the impact of climate action. And I urge anyone, when you have the chance, to Google Climate Wins Here and see our map of the projects that are springing up all around this country with this federal investment. We can make a difference now, but we are also seeing attacks proliferating in Congress, trying to zero out this funding that we could not need more urgently. And so it's really a pivotal moment. It's a consequential moment. And we're thrilled that we have all of you here to talk about it and that we have three extraordinary guests who are very much in the thick of it. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Representative Melanie Stansbury, Dr. Mustafa Ali. Thanks to all of the partners that have made this conversation possible. And thanks most of all to everyone who's joined us. Don't keep this conversation in this virtual room. Take it out into the world. And most of all, never forget how much your voice matters. Now, it matters that your representatives hear from you, that you see what these investments can do, are doing, that you want to protect them, and that you want to keep building on them. So with that, let's jump into it. It's my deep pleasure to introduce one of the most incomparable champions we have for climate action in the world, and certainly in the United States Senate. That's Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. The senator is now chairing the Senate Budget Committee, and so is playing an outsized role in budget fights that are coming up right now. And we can't thank you enough for taking time away from your extraordinarily busy schedule to speak with us, Senator. Let me turn it over to you. And I think you're on mute.
You'd think I might have done this before once or twice. Thank you very much, Abby Dillon. Thank you, Earth Justice, and thank you to the Climate Action Campaign. I think we need to start with the premise that the Republican Party is essentially a wholly owned subsidiary of the fossil fuel industry and does what it's told. If you want more statistical proof of that, you can look at Speaker McCarthy's MAGA default threat legislation, which was 315 pages long, out of which 275 pages were giveaways to the fossil fuel industry. So we have a big fight on our hands. That's why we had to pass the IRA through reconciliation with exactly 0 Republican votes supporting it. It has been very successful. There are 200 projects that it's launched already, 140,000 jobs predicted for those 200 projects. And of course, a lot of Republicans showing up when those projects are announced and ribbons are cut and shovelfuls of dirt are thrown. They don't have much shame about it. So it's a good news story in that respect. And the Biden administration is cranking up in a lot of other areas that I think will be very helpful. A whole slew of EPA regs coming out. And I was at the White House today to help them kick off what I call Methane Enforcement Day, where they were bringing all the different agencies of government together. Now that we have the satellite ability to track methane leaks, to make sure that where they find a leak, they send a lawyer, they send somebody with a plug, they very, very aggressively turn on the enforcement switch across all the different agencies of government to make sure we stop those methane leaks in their tracks. There are other things we can talk about this evening, but why don't I just leave it at that for the moment? And thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being here. And it's my pleasure now to introduce another incredible champion for water and for the climate, Representative Melanie Stansbury. Thank you for being here. You currently serve as the ranking member on the House Committee on Natural Resources Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations. Very important role. And you are an ardent defender of the IRA and efforts to reduce climate emissions. And we know how hard you are working now as fights heat up in the House about the future of this crucial funding. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Abby. And hello, everyone out there. I am Congresswoman Melanie Stansbury, and I am deeply proud to represent New Mexico's 1st Congressional District, which is right in the heart of central New Mexico. And I am a proud water nerd. I have spent my entire career working on water and climate issues, working at the nexus between social justice, water, and climate change and science and sustainability, working to address poverty and community development issues and their intersection with sustainability. And as somebody who's worked on these issues throughout my career in many different ways, whether that was working on the ground as an educator, as a grassroots organizer, as a science professional and researcher, and now as the Congresswoman from New Mexico's 1st, I just want to start out by thanking all of you out there who are in the fight, in the trenches with us to make sure that we leave behind a livable planet and future for our children and grandchildren. You guys already know this, but I think it's important to say that climate change is already here. It's already impacting our communities across the country right now. Obviously, we're seeing the severe impacts of the heat dome over the Southwest. We've been seeing flooding happening in the Northeast, and of course, the unprecedented fires that are happening across Canada. And I'm excited to celebrate the 1-year birthday. So happy birthday, Inflation Reduction Act, but also to talk about the work ahead, because really none of this matters if we don't actually implement the historic investments that we made in the Inflation Reduction Act and the bipartisan infrastructure law, and make sure that those dollars get to our communities, get to the people on the ground who are most impacted by climate change, and have the ability to transform our economy and our communities, and have the ability to lift up the voices and use the tools, knowledge, infrastructure, and know-how to really make those transformations real on the ground. And so I'm excited to have this conversation. I'm excited about the work that all of you are doing out there, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to talk to you all. So thanks for that.
Thank you. So let's turn to some of the amazing people on the ground who are helping to make this land. And it takes all of us, right? So I'm going to turn it over to our first question from Evelyn Pedro. She is a community organizer for Poder Latinx based in Georgia. She's fighting for all of us to stop climate change. Let's hear from her, and then Senator Whitehouse, if we could have you respond first, followed by Congresswoman Stansbury.
My name is Evelyn, and I'm a community organizer here in Georgia. Thank you so much for having me. About a year ago, thanks to you and other climate champs, Congress passed the largest ever investment in climate and clean energy, the historic Inflation Reduction Act. Because of this, we are seeing hundreds of thousands of jobs created, new manufacturing facilities opening, and even private businesses announcing their own investments. For example, in my state of Georgia, it was announced that it will receive almost $219 million to implement a home energy rebate program, meaning that low-income households in my city of Atlanta could save an average of 41% on their home energy bill once they upgrade appliances and improve energy efficiency. So my question is, Senator, do you think the Inflation Reduction Act is delivering on its promise 1 year later?
I do think that the IRA is delivering on its promise. And if you consider the number that we've talked about already, the $369 million worth of expenditure, that's actually not a legal ceiling or cap. That's an estimate based on what we think the tax use of these provisions will be. But other groups that aren't particularly climate friendly, that just try to analyze things, like Goldman Sachs, the big investment shop have taken a look at the IRA, and they think that it might be twice or three times the take up. So it could be even bigger than we had expected and anticipated at the time. So that's the good news. The bad news is, even with that, we are still not on a pathway to climate safety. And there are other actions that urgently need to be taken. And back to the good news again, some of those actions can be taken by the Biden administration without the need of trying to convince the MAGA Republicans who run the House. And that's the whole frontier that we can do a lot of good work in, with regulations, with methane enforcement, with carbon border tariffs, and so forth. So there are good prospects ahead, but we also need to make sure that 2024 is a referendum on the climate lies that the fossil fuel industry has forced the Republican Party to adopt.
Representative Stansbury, would you like to weigh in?
I think that it's important that everyone remember that the Inflation Reduction Act was not only the largest investment that Congress and the United States has ever made in climate change in our history, it's the largest investment in climate change that any country in the history of the planet has ever made in climate and clean energy ever. And is it doing enough? Ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to make sure that these dollars are implemented, because, as I mentioned a few moments ago, it won't matter if we don't reduce carbon and prevent our atmosphere from crossing that catastrophic tipping point. And as we know, we're already seeing these impacts with temperatures and strange storms and fires. And so what we need to do is to make sure that we get those dollars on the ground quickly, that we're expediting the ability for those communities who are most at risk, who are on the front line, the communities of color, the low-income communities, our tribal communities, to access those dollars, to be able to provide those supports that the Justice 40 initiative of the president and the administration is implementing, the ways in which we wrote into this bill and the bipartisan infrastructure bill, equity and justice as part of the underlying pieces of it, and that we're helping to support industry in making those game-changing investments in carbon reduction. And I just want to sort of wrap things up by saying, climate change is obviously being caused across our entire economy. It's the transportation sector, it's electricity, it's heating, it's the way that we build across the world. And so the Inflation Reduction Act was designed to address emissions across each of those sectors. And it's going to take an approach that involves all of us, our state and local governments, our tribal governments, businesses, banks, and all of us on the ground, making sure that at every level, whether it's buying your first electric car using the subsidies, or putting a solar panel on your house, or these large investment banks and utilities making the transition to clean infrastructure on the ground, to the transitioning of how we build skyscrapers and houses all across the United States. All of us have to play a part, because ultimately, if we're going to solve the climate crisis, every single one of us has to be involved in the solution. And the Inflation Reduction Act helps to make that possible.
Absolutely. So let's go to someone from New Mexico. I want to turn it over to Ana Rios. She is a field coordinator for Moms Clean Air Force and a longtime advocate for environmental justice and clean energy. And I just want to lift up the point you made, that this act really centers spending that must benefit communities that have been left behind in the past. So thank you for joining us, Ana, and we'll have you pose your question, and then Congresswoman, why don't you go first, and Senator, you go second.
Hi, my name is Ana Rios. I am the New Mexico field organizer for Moms Clean Air Force and Ecomadres. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Last week, more than 75 million Americans were under extreme heat warning. Arizona achieved 30 days straight of temperatures over 100 degrees. 85 people were hurt and 3 people died from contact burns with the pavement. Early this month, Pennsylvania, Vermont, and other northeastern states experienced devastating rains that flooded communities. Wildfires are again burning, threatening communities and polluting our air, leading to dangerous air quality. Is the president's clean energy and clean plan enough? Should we be doing more to tackle climate change?
All right. Well, thank you. And hi, Anna, and hi to all the moms out there. I love you guys. The answer is no, we're not doing enough. If you look at the science, if we are going to avert a climate catastrophe, we've got to make sure that we are making this transition rapidly and across every sector of our society. Now, the investments of the Inflation Reduction Act are one piece of that puzzle. And as I just mentioned, it's the largest investment that not only our country has ever made, but any country ever in the history of this planet has ever made. So it's an important down payment towards transitioning our economy, helping support all of these different industries and households and people across all different geographies. But it's not enough. We need every aspect of our society working to address climate change. It means that we need every government all in on our global commitments to reducing carbon emissions. It means that we have to rapidly transition each of the sectors that are emitting carbon emissions. It means that we need all of you who are activists out there to continue to push us. Because here's the one thing that I know. I ran for office in 2018 for the first time ever in my life. I'd worked on climate and water issues as a behind the scenes science professional and staffer my entire career. But what I understood after the 2016 election is that if we don't stand up and participate in the system and transform the system and make sure that the system has people in it that speak with, for, and alongside our communities, that fight for the things that we believe in and that are willing to go to the mat to make sure that we can get it done. And if we don't have our communities behind us, we will not be able to transform and bring justice, equity, and sustainability to our communities and to the planet. So my message to all of you out there is keep organizing, keep pushing us, keep pushing Congress, keep pushing the administration, keep pushing your states and your local governments, and step up yourselves and run for office.
I agree with Representative Stansbury that the answer is no, there is more to be done. I've mentioned the methane enforcement task force that I expect to see be very active. I've mentioned developing a carbon border tariff to parallel with the European Union and send a massive price signal to polluters everywhere. I've mentioned the EPA regs. We have to lean in particularly hard because we have a Supreme Court that has been packed by fossil fuel interests to take every shot that it can at the Supreme Court, whether it was against President Obama's Clean Power Plan or whether it was against the EPA West Virginia decision. We've got an uphill struggle with this court, so we have to overperform in other areas so we can withstand some damage from the court. And I'd close by saying, if we're going to be successful, we have to be effective at disabling the fossil fuel denial and obstruction machine that is the reason that we're behind the curve here. And their denial and obstruction machine runs on dark money. It runs on huge anonymous floods of money that they throw into politics. And we need to keep in the back of our minds that honest, uncorrupted, disclosed, transparent politics is a very important pathway to climate success.
Senator, and thank you for never, ever tiring of telling us the truth. And you make all of these points with such unflagging dedication and compelling power. Thank you for being here tonight. Last word to you before I know you need to go back to the business of the Senate.
Thank you very much for doing this. I think pressure from community organizations makes an enormous difference. I think our Republican friends are facing a huge, huge gap between where their fossil fuel donors tell them they have to be and where their constituents are starting to realize they really need to be. And I think between now and 2024, we really need to exploit that gap. and point out that this lie that climate change is a hoax was fed to Republican office holders by the fossil fuel industry, who paid them to propagate that lie. And that, I think, is a very good fighting stance to go into 24 with, in addition to all the positive work we're going to do to continue reducing emissions. It got to reduce the emissions. You have to disable the really, really malevolent political machine of the fossil fuel industry at the same time.
Thank you, Senator. And Congresswoman, I want to turn back to you. Thank you for the call to action. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the truth telling about the action that we need even beyond what we're doing now. We know it's true. A few last closing words you'd like to offer?
You know, I think I just want to close out by saying your voices have power. When I ran for office in 2018, I want to be completely honest that I didn't think that we would see significant climate action potentially, not only during my time in service, but potentially in my lifetime. And yet, within 2 years of serving in this body in Congress, we passed this historic legislation. And I can tell you unequivocally that the reason we passed that legislation is because of the voices of organizers and young people all across the planet who refused to sit down, who refused to be silent, who marched in the streets, who demanded every single day that we take climate action. And so I think it's a really challenging time. It's easy to watch the news, to watch what's happening in Congress, to watch what's happening in our politics and feel like nothing is ever going to change. But let me tell you, you have already created change. And when I walk onto the floor of the House of Representatives, it looks like the American people. You have transformed the body that I am fortunate enough to serve in on behalf of our communities. And when you think about how much change we've accomplished, even over the last 2 to 3 cycles, and the transformative effect it's had on the humans who are serving and their desire to address the issues that matter to all of you, whether it's climate change, social justice, equity issues, we are already the seeds of change that are here to bring that. And so my final and closing message is to have hope, to keep organizing, to keep pushing, and to make sure that we continue to do the work that will transform our communities.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman. We're so honored to have you here. And those words are an incredibly great segue to Dr. Mustafa Ali, whose career really embodies the kind of audacious struggle that you're talking about. Thank you so much for being here, Mustafa. For those of you who may not know him, he spent 2 decades plus advancing environmental justice at the United States EPA. He's doing that now in the environmental movement as a senior vice president at the National Wildlife Federation. And we're eager for your thoughts at this really important moment for our country and for the world.
Yes. Well, thank you, Abby, for having me. Thank you, Senator, for everything that you continue to do, and Representative. You know, my mother says that when you know better, do better. We know that the Inflation Reduction Act gives us the opportunity to protect lives, gives us the opportunity to also create jobs and to address the wealth gap at the same time that exists in communities of color. And it also gives us the opportunity to protect our planet and make sure that we're not just in a survival sort of positioning, but actually in a thriving. People often hear me talk about moving from surviving to thriving. The sets of actions that folks are doing, both on the front lines and in Congress, are helping us to make sure that we can move to that thriving position. And that's so incredibly important because we know when we take our eyes off the ball, what actually happens. We've seen the impacts that have happened inside of our most vulnerable communities. You know, Harvard University shared with us 2 years ago that we've got over 350,000 people who are dying prematurely from the burning of fossil fuels. We have more people who are dying from the fossil fuels than are dying from gun violence. More people are dying from those fossil fuels being burnt than are dying from car crashes. More people are dying from the burning of those fossil fuels than are dying from the overdoses of drugs. And we also know that we've got 24 million people in our country who are suffering from asthma, 7 million children. And we know that when it comes to Latinx or Hispanic children, that they have a 40% chance of dying prematurely. And we know it's 7 times more for African-American children. We have this moment now, this transformational moment when we can save lives, when we can make sure that the dynamics that have played out in the past don't have to be a part of a 21st century paradigm that helps us to uplift everyone, to make sure that a new day is possible. And that's why I appreciate the work that folks are doing on Capitol Hill to continue to push to make real change happen, because we also know that through policy, we saw the placement of fossil fuel facilities and other deadly types of things in our most vulnerable communities. And out of that, we now see the climate crisis that's playing out because we had refused to break our addiction to fossil fuels. But now we have a whole new set of opportunities. So when we look at communities across our country, like the Manchester community in Houston, Texas, when you roll down the windows there, you feel like you're breathing in gasoline fumes. We can change that dynamic because we will no longer need those petrochemical facilities and refineries because we will be moving to cleaner forms of energy. We can also make sure that the folks who have been dealing with the historical bad policies around transportation, that we're now moving forward with cleaner forms of energy with buses and scooters and a number of different things that folks are now using in that cleaner energy space. Folks in Princeville, North Carolina, who've been hit twice by devastating floods, understand that when we don't break that addiction, when we don't move forward with a new clean economy, that they are still in the crosshairs of these storms that are going on. We had 10 million acres that have been burned in Canada because of the wildfires. And we've seen the wildfires that have played out both in California and Oregon and Washington state. And we know that the climate crisis is playing a role in that. So the climate crisis takes lives. We know with extreme heat that African-American communities die at twice the rate of our white brothers and sisters, but everyone is in danger when we don't move forward in a positive direction. This is that transformational moment. We can now make sure that, as was stated before, the 140,000 plus jobs that are a part of the Affordable Clean Energy Plan are making sure that all communities can benefit from those and we can lift everyone up. This is truly a transformational moment. My mother says that when you know better, do better. But she also says that you have power unless you give it away. Getting engaged in that civic process. I never tell anyone who to vote for, but I do say vote for somebody who cares about your community. Vote for somebody who cares about your future. We have that opportunity that is right here in front of us. And Dr. King shared some important words as I close. He once said that we come to these shores in different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. We are now in a boat that we can either have to deal with the climate crisis and not do the steps that are necessary, or we can embrace a new future, a future that is brighter, a future that is more sustainable, a future that makes sure that no communities across our country get left behind. That is the question and the opportunity that we now have in this moment. I'm honored to be hand in hand with all of you as we push to make sure that a new day is possible.
Thank you, Mustafa. And it's such a surreal moment because we are finally seeing how possible it is to have a totally different way of being. And this money is making it possible. The president's climate plan can keep us moving forward. We are watching how we can make energy differently, use energy differently, protect our democracy, protect one another in community differently. All of that is coming into being. These aren't pipe dreams. They're happening on the ground. And yet, at this moment, when we were also experiencing all of the things that I've been working on climate for the last 20 years, all of the things that I've been dreading are beginning to happen, not in a trickle, but it's just happening now. And we can't pretend that this is an anomaly. This is going to keep happening, and it's going to get worse if we don't hold our elected leadership responsible for protecting us instead of the polluters who sometimes contribute overly to their campaigns. We can't settle for leadership in Congress or in state government or in your local city council or anywhere else that aren't making climate a top priority. We are living this. We are living in an emergency, and we have to stand up. We have to make our voices heard. We have to talk to our friends and our families and make it clear that we don't have to be paralyzed with fear about the future. We have to stand up and fight for the solutions that are here. That's what the Climate Action Campaign is all about. I know that's what everybody who's joined this call is all about. That's what our incredible guests here tonight are all about. Let's keep it going. Take every opportunity to let the person who represents you at every level of government know you see this need and that you feel it urgently, and you expect them to be climate champions no matter what side of the aisle they sit on. Get out there in your climate wins or your Climate Action Campaign t-shirts and let your passion be known. Never miss an opportunity to make a call. Never make an opportunity to stand up in the streets when that is appropriate, and certainly don't miss an opportunity to run for office as our inspiring Congresswoman has done. Thank you all for being here tonight. We're so grateful to you and all that you bring to the fight of our lives. That's where we are.